How are we doing, everyone? Hope we're well. Welcome back to another set of Premier League predictions. We're on to game week 16. I've recovered well from my Boxing Day hangover, where I spent most of the day with my head near a toilet. But we go again. And yeah, we've got a lot of Premier League games coming up, thick and fast. And yeah, in the next 3 days, we've got another 10 Premier League fixtures. Some big games as well, given the results last week. There's a bit of a swing in the league. But yeah, we'll get straight into our picks. The scores are Leif 73, Guess 70. And my guest this week is Arthur. Here he is.
Arthur, I played cricket with Will. I went to school with him for a bit and now play the occasional round of golf with him. He's a great lad, and yeah, let's jump straight into the predictions. So first,
But yeah, let's just get straight into them. We start on the 28th at 3 o'clock. We've got Crystal Palace against Leicester. Palace been really poor last 2 weeks. Obviously got 7-0 against Liverpool, and then Villa dealt with them 3-0. And Leicester have just come off the back of that sort of well-earned draw, I thought, against United. It was a good game. They probably deserved the point. It'll be a tough one, this. I know Palace have struggled, but they're always a tricky opponent, especially away from home at Selhurst Park. There's rumours about Brendan Rodgers making quite a lot of changes going into this game, so it'll be a close one, I think. But I think Leicester will have enough. Their away form's been pretty solid, so I'm going to say Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 2.
game week, Crystal Palace against Leicester City. Obviously, Crystal Palace on the back of two very poor results, 7-0 against Liverpool and 3-0 loss against 10 men Aston Villa. Not a very good run, and Leicester City doing very well against Man U. I thought in the 2-2 draw on the weekend was a very exciting game. However, I do think that Leicester sometimes in games just have that lack of ability to put the game to bed sometimes. Jamie Vardy's a bit hit and miss at the moment, I believe. He scored lots of goals still, but still a bit hit and miss. So I've decided this game is going to be Crystal Palace 1, Leicester City 1.
And we've got a huge game. My boys, Aston Villa, we're away at Chelsea. If you said this fixture at the start of the season, you probably wouldn't have given us any chance. But given our form, we've been absolutely flying high. We're 7th, Chelsea at 8th. And yeah, we look really good against Crystal Palace once again. Grealish literally making this Premier League stuff look piss. Clean sheets, 4 in a row. And Ollie Watkins is looking good up top as well. Just needs to put the ball in the back of the net. But we look strong. Chelsea, we're obviously really disappointing against Arsenal, which I guess is good for me, but also very bad because I feel like Lampard's going to fire these boys up to come hard at us. And a trip away at Stamford Bridge is never easy. However, I'm going to be ever the optimist and stick with my boys and be confident that hopefully we can go in to Stamford Bridge and take something away. I'll take a point, but I don't know what I've had this morning to eat, but I'm giving it the big one. I'm going to say we're going to get all 3 points and we go Chelsea 1, Villa 2. Dean Smith's Tricky Villains European Tour continues. Come on, the boys.
The next game, we have Chelsea-Aston Villa. Obviously, Chelsea on the back of that 3-0 loss against Arsenal. Not very promising for Frank Lampard and his men. Aston Villa, on the other hand, winning the last 2 games. I mean, they're on a good run of form. I mean, Jack Grealish is playing probably the best football he's ever played and catapulting Aston Villa to heights they never really imagined they'd be this season. However, I do think that this game is one of those games which Chelsea will come back. Timo Werner hasn't scored in a long time. He's definitely due a few goals. So I'm going Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0.
Then we've got Everton against Man City at 8 o'clock on the 28th. A tough one this as well. Everton obviously off the back of that 1-0 win away at Sheffield United, which is a good result for them. A tricky little 1-0 win away at Bramwell Lanes. Always good to get the 3 points there. And City obviously pretty dominant, easy display against Newcastle 2-0. But City will want to be trying to close this gap on Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool dropping points against the likes of West Brom last week. Man City have got to think, right, this is our time to really step on the throat of the teams above us and close that gap at the top. And I think they'll do it here. Richarlison's out for Everton, and I saw some ridiculous stat when he doesn't play, their record is completely different. So I'm going to give City the benefit of doubt, but in a close, cagey one. And I'm going to say Everton 0, Man City 1.
This is Manchester City. Obviously, Everton on a very good run of form. Winning against Sheffield United in the last 10 minutes. Gylfi Sigurdsson with a good strike against the Manchester City side, who have been very hit and miss this season. People think they're out of the title race, even though they're only 3 points off Liverpool if they do win this game. So, I mean, I do think that this is a game that Pep Guardiola will want to win a lot. and I do believe that they will win. So I'm going to go Everton 0, Manchester City 2.
Brighton against Arsenal. First of all, hands up, I got the Arsenal prediction wrong, apologies. However, Arsenal fans are getting very loud on social media after one win. Just chill out for a little bit, alright? Just calm down. One win does not make you world beaters, okay? So yeah, I think we need to just slow down. Let me just have a little look. Oh yeah, there they are, 15th in the league. You could beat Brighton, but it doesn't mean you're world beaters. Just chill out for a bit, Arsenal fans. But yeah, 14th versus 15th. Brighton probably should have won at West Ham, actually. They were the better side. Just gave away 2 sloppy goals. And Arsenal, fair play to them, were really, really good against Chelsea. No matter how poor Chelsea were, Arsenal were really good. And I expect this to be quite a close game as well. And I'm going to say the points can get shared. I'm going to say Brighton 1, Arsenal 1.
The next game is Brighton versus Arsenal. Obviously, Brighton getting a 2-2 draw against West Ham, which they feel they probably should have won. And Arsenal, obviously, on the back of that 3-0 win. Both teams playing good football. However, I do think that Brighton just kind of had that lack of ability to finish games off. They either concede late or they don't score the winning goal. And Arsenal, I just think that this could be the kickstart to their season, and I hope it is. So I'm going to go for Brighton 1, Arsenal 2.
Southampton against West Ham. Like I just said there, West Ham battled hard for a point against Brighton. But still, the way David Moyes sets up with those sort of 3 sort of central holding midfielders just isn't great to watch, and I'm not sure if they're really utilising the attacking threats they've got in the likes of Ben Rama on the bench. However, I guess it's doing all right for them. They're sort of mid-table. And Southampton have kind of plateaued a little bit. Would be disappointed they didn't beat Fulham last time out. But I think back at St Mary's, home form, I think they'll be the better side here, and I think that will show in the result. I'm going to say Southampton 2, West Ham United 0.
Next game, Southampton West Ham. Southampton have been quite promising this season, except they're missing Vestergaard now, which will be a big blow for them. West Ham in the second half against Brighton played very well, and I think they are going to get the win in this game. Be the shock of the week. Southampton 1, West Ham 2.
For me, actually, probably one of the most interesting games of the week, which I don't think many of you would have thought, would be West Brom against Leeds. West Brom were really, really good against Liverpool. The first 45 minutes, I think, the majority of people were saying, okay, this could be 4-5 in the second half, but they held strong. Fair play, Sam Allardyce. A lot of memes flying about him, but he stuck to his guns, stuck out, and then Ajayi got the late equaliser. So fair play to West Brom, great result for them. And Leeds obviously got that 1-0 win against Burnley. Pretty lucky with a few decisions, I have to say. But it doesn't matter. You got to get some luck in the league sometimes, and that's what they got. They got their 3 points. Patrick Bamford is continuing to prove me wrong, so fair play to him. But this will be a good game. I've actually gone for the points to be shared here, and I've said 2-2, so hopefully a few goals flying around. And yeah, a good game, I think.
The next game, West Brom Leeds. Obviously, West Brom on the back of that 1-1 draw against Liverpool will be in high spirits, and Leeds getting another win against Burnley. Obviously, Patrick Bamford scoring again. However, I do think this game is going to be a draw. I think Big Sam's men are going to score goals this week, because they did look quite... I mean, even they didn't have that many chances. They had more shots on target than Liverpool in the game, which was a bit of a surprise to the fans, I think. And I do think they're going to score goals, but I do also think their defence is going to leak goals, as Leeds are very good on the attack. So I'm going to go for West Bromwich Albion 2, Leeds United 2.
Then we've got Burnley against Sheffield United. 2 sides up north. Burnley, they're getting their sort of Turf Moor home form back to pieces together, which is nice to see. Sean Dyche's men stepping up and giving us a little bit of a glimpse of what they've been like in previous seasons in the league. But Sheffield United's woes continue. 2 points still from 15 games just isn't good enough, and unfortunately it looks like their stay in the Premier League will be ending after this season, and I think their bad form will continue this week. I'm going to go Burnley 2, Sheffield United 0.
Next game, Burnley versus Sheffield United. Burnley played well in that 1-0 loss away at Leeds, and I thought it was quite a good game because I think it was only 1-0. They just kind of lacked that finishing touch. Obviously a bit unlucky with maybe a goal which got ruled out, but well, you can argue about those all day against the Sheffield United side, who have been very poor this season, lacking any sort of attacking threat. and whenever they do get chances on goal, their strikers never seem able to kind of apply the finishing touch. However, I do feel they're going to get something out of this game. I feel it'll be a very good game, and I'm going for Burnley 2, Sheffield United 2.
Then we've got United against Wolves. United obviously drew against Leicester, but I think if they win their game in hand, they're like a point or two off Liverpool at the top, so they're in a very good position. Bruno continues to dominate on fantasy, which is very good for me. But yeah, I like United in this game. Wolves obviously dug well to get a point against Spurs, but I think United just got a bit too much quality going forward, and I think Wolves still lack a little bit of quality going forward without Jimenez, so I'm going to say Man United 3, Wolves 1.
The next game, Manchester United Wolves. Obviously, Man U, Bruno Fernandes has taken them to new heights this season. They're scoring goals. Their defence is still a bit questionable. Luke Shaw, should he really still be playing in them for Manchester United? Is he that good? But that's a different argument. I do think that they are going to beat Wolves. Wolves have been a bit hit and miss. Got a result against Spurs. However, I don't think this is going to be enough to keep Manchester United out. So I'm going to go Man U 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
We've got Spurs against Fulham. Spurs, again, like I just said, only got the point against Wolves, which I'll be disappointed with. But if Mourinho's going to play that style of football and stick to it, then you got to try and take your chances when you're 1-0 up as well. You can't just sit on a 1-0 win, because teams in this league will score against you and nick points late on against you. So maybe we'll see a bit of a change, but I don't think Mourinho will move much away from his tactics. Fulham, again, got a good point against Southampton. And Scott Parker's men are shoring themselves up at the back, still look good going forward. But this will be a tough one for them away at Spurs. And I don't see them getting anything here, unfortunately. So I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Fulham 0.
The next game, Spurs-Fulham. Obviously, Spurs only getting a 1-1 draw, and Fulham having playing well recently. However, I do think they're going to have too much quality. So I'm going to go for Spurs 3, Fulham 0.
Finished, we've got Newcastle-Liverpool. Newcastle obviously lost to Man City. Steve Bruce's team, a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID issues. So yeah, they're lacking a bit of squad depth at the minute. And Liverpool, obviously, like I just mentioned, got the point against West Brom. They'll be really disappointed because the first half they were so dominant. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see their squad rotation. Who that gets the like? I think Minamino probably will start up top. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Jurgen Klopp does with the team. However, I think they'll have too much away at Newcastle, just given the sort of issues they have around their squad depth at the minute. I'm going to say Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 2.
Last game of the week, Newcastle versus Liverpool. Newcastle have been very hit and miss. Obviously, had a hit of coronavirus in the training camp, which obviously is not ideal. And Liverpool, obviously flying high. A one-off result against West Brom. I do think Newcastle will put up some fight. However, I think it's going to be a classic Liverpool last-minute goal. So I'm going to go for Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2.
But that's it for my predictions. We'll be back for the New Year's Day predictions. And let's hope when I do that video, Aston Villa will be in the Champions League spaces. All the best, people, and see you soon.